Nancy was a 22-year-old woman who lived with her mother, Martha, in a small picturesque village nestled in the foothills of a mountain range. The village, with its cobblestone streets and quaint cottages, was a place of simple beauty, but life there was anything but easy. For Nancy and her mother, the struggle to make ends meet was a daily reality. Nancy's father had passed away when she was just a child, leaving Martha to raise her daughter alone. Martha worked tirelessly, taking on odd jobs in the village to provide for their modest needs. She would mend clothes, clean houses, and occasionally help farmers during the harvest season. Despite her hard work, money was always tight, and there were nights when they had to go to bed with empty stomachs. Nancy, however, was a beacon of hope and positivity in their humble home. She had inherited her mother's resilience and her father's gentle nature. With her warm smile and kind heart, she was loved by everyone in the village. Yet, beneath her cheerful demeanor lay a deep yearning for a better life. Not just for herself, but for her mother, who had sacrificed so much. Nancy had always been a dreamer. As a child, she would sit by the river that ran through the village, watching the water flow endlessly toward the horizon. She imagined the places it might reach, the cities it might pass through, and the lives it might touch. She dreamed of one day leaving the village to explore the world beyond the mountains. Education had been a luxury they could barely afford, but Nancy was determined to learn. She had attended the village school until the age of 16, after which she had to drop out to help her mother. Even so, she continued to read whatever books she could borrow from the village's small library. Her favorite book was an old, tattered atlas, and she would spend hours tracing the lines of rivers, mountains, and roads, imagining the stories of the people who lived in those faraway places. One evening, as Nancy and her mother sat by the flickering light of an oil lamp, she shared her dreams with Martha. "Mama, one day I want to see the world. I want to learn new things, meet new people, and bring back stories that will inspire others in our village." Martha smiled, her eyes glistening with both pride and worry. "My dear Nancy, you have a heart full of dreams, and I pray that you achieve them. But the world outside can be harsh. Promise me you'll always stay true to yourself." Nancy nodded. "I promise, Mama." Life took an unexpected turn when a group of volunteers arrived in the village to set up a community center. They planned to provide basic education and vocational training to help villagers improve their livelihoods. Nancy was thrilled when she heard the news. She saw it as a chance to learn new skills and take a step closer to her dreams. Among the volunteers was a young woman named Clara, who noticed Nancy's enthusiasm and determination. Clara taught Nancy how to use a computer, a skill that was entirely new to her. Nancy was a quick learner, and within weeks, she was helping others in the village navigate the digital world. Clara also introduced Nancy to online learning platforms, where she could access free courses on various subjects. Nancy's favorite was a course on entrepreneurship. She began to dream of starting her own small business, something that could benefit the village and provide a steady income for her family. Inspired by the skills she had learned, Nancy came up with an idea to start a small handicrafts business. The village was known for its natural beauty and abundance of wildflowers, so Nancy decided to create handmade flower press cards and bookmarks. She enlisted the help of other women in the village, teaching them the craft and creating a small cooperative. The business started modestly, with Nancy selling their products at the weekly village market. Her designs were simple yet elegant, and they quickly gained popularity. Travelers passing through the village began to buy her creations, and soon word spread to nearby towns. With Clara's help, Nancy set up an online shop to reach a wider audience. Orders began pouring in, and for the first time, Nancy and her mother felt a sense of financial stability. Martha was overjoyed to see her daughter's hard work pay off. "You've brought hope to this family and to our village, Nancy," she said, her voice filled with pride. The journey was not without challenges. There were times when supplies ran low, or when they faced delays in fulfilling orders. Some villagers were skeptical of Nancy's ambitions, believing that a young woman from a poor family could never achieve such success. But Nancy's unwavering determination kept her going. One particularly difficult period came when a severe storm damaged their home and workshop. Nancy was heartbroken, but the villagers rallied around her, offering their support. Together, they rebuilt what had been lost, and the experience only strengthened Nancy's resolve. Her business continued to grow, and she began to reinvest the profits into the community. She organized workshops to teach other villagers skills like weaving, sewing, and painting, empowering them to create their own sources of income. Nancy's dream of uplifting her village was becoming a reality. At 22, Nancy had already achieved more than she had ever imagined. Her journey was a testament to the power of dreams, hard work, and the support of a loving community. But she knew this was just the beginning. One day, as she stood by the river, watching the water flow toward the horizon, Nancy felt a sense of fulfillment she had never known before. She thought of her mother, whose sacrifices had made everything possible, and of the village that had shaped her into the person she was. "Mama," she said that evening, "I'm ready to see the world. But this time I'll go not just for myself, but for our village. I'll bring back knowledge and opportunities that will help us all grow." Martha embraced her daughter, tears of joy streaming down her face. "Go, my child. The world is waiting for you." With her mother's blessing and the support of her community, Nancy set out on a new journey. She carried with her not only the dreams of a young woman, but also the hopes of a village that had learned to believe in the power of change. Nancy's story became an inspiration for others, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, dreams could take root and flourish. And as she ventured into the world beyond the mountains, she knew that her heart would always remain in the village where it all began.